Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. Narcissists have a poor sense of judgment. Narcissists have a really poor sense of judgment. And the thing is they're home wreckers, you know? You could have provided a loving home. You might have been someone who took care of them, who supported them, you know. Maybe you looked after children for them and you was at home looking after the house or whatnot. Or maybe you was the person that was going to work and bringing home the money, and you're working endless hours trying to make ends meet, supporting the narcissist involved in your life and your children perhaps. You know, but they've got a really poor sense of judgment, and they make some of the most stupidest decisions that actually haunt them for the rest of their lives. You know, they had everything with you. They had everything with you. They had everything on a plate, you know. They had everything. And they make these decisions to, you know, partly it's them wanting to hurt you, revenge, them wanting to cause you pain, narcissistic injuries you've inflicted unknowingly, and they're getting revenge for that. This is why narcissists make these decisions to go over to greener pastures that they think are greener, you know? Some of them are going through a narcissistic collapse, you know? Maybe even when you met them, they was actually going through their collapse, and they indulge in risky behavior and promiscuity and stuff of that nature. You know, this is what happens when a narcissist is going through a collapse. And, you know, they sure know after a little while when they get over to these new ventures of theirs with these new supplies, the narcissist involved in your life, when they get over to these new supplies and these new ventures in life, they realize pretty soon that they messed up. It's inevitable. They do realize pretty soon. Not a lot of you believe me when I say this. Not all of you, but there's a percentage that I see frequently in the comment section. Not always the same names, but I see it pop up. You know, people think that the narcissist goes with a new supply and all is forgotten. But the human body and the human nature is not like that. You see, developing a friendship or romantic relationship or a family member, like having a connection with another human being, is serious stuff. It's serious stuff. And yes, we all well know that a narcissist doesn't take it seriously. They don't take it seriously, these connections, these bonds. But they're still part of them. And it takes a toll on them, right? They may not take it seriously when they're involved in it, but it sure does haunt them after they're out of it, you know? Because the brain remembers things, remembers people, you know? And you know firsthand how hard it is for you to forget about the narcissist. Well, it's just the opposite with the narcissist. You remember them for all of the bad qualities, all of their abuse, all of their mistreatment. They remember you for everything positive you've done. So it's just like roles reversed, realistically. They remember you for all of the supply you gave them, all of the love and support. And even during the bad times when you may be shouting at them or in arguments and they were still enjoying it, still supply for them. They loved it when you were happy. Well, they didn't love it when you were happy, but they loved it when they were love bombing you, right? Because they were getting a potent source of supply. They liked you when you were unhappy and miserable, right? They liked being hot and cold with you, you not knowing where you're standing, where you're at in the relationship. You know, they loved manipulating you and making you lost and not know where you're at. You know, this is what they love to do. But they're out there with these silly choices that they made, these silly choices that they made, they're out there with their new supplies, or even newer supplies in some cases, you know? Sometimes these new situationships they get involved in don't last. Sometimes they do last. Sometimes they last longer periods of time than you was even involved with the narcissist, and that's not a reflection of you. Don't think that's a reflection of you. They're aging, they're getting older, they realize they haven't got the charm that they used to have. And when they go through the brutal awakening of knowing they lost the chosen one and an empath, they stick to these new supplies like glue. They cling to them out of desperation. And they could be in the most toxic situation ever. Now, I know things may appear to you as they're rosy and peach sweet from the outside, but if you was a fly on the wall, or you could have a vision and see what's happening, oh, you'd know it's not all sunshine and rainbows over there. They're not enjoying life over there. They're suffering. They are. And you will always be that constant reminder, that constant comparison, that constant reflection, that constant rumination. You will always be the one that they think about within their new situationships, because these new supplies just don't compare to what you used to do. They're a downgrade. That's what they are. They downgraded. That's what they are. And they know they downgraded. This is why they put in a lot of effort to try and glorify the new supply in some cases. Sometimes they know it's just blatantly obvious it's a downgrade, so they actually hide the new supply. But narcissists downgrade. They make these terrible decisions. They thought it would work out best for them, but it didn't. It didn't. They thought it would work out all good for them. They thought it was greener grass, only to find out they're on AstroTurf, like that fellow commenter said. You know, that's what happens. So make sure, right, that you don't ever let them back in. You can't let another person back in after they've been with someone else and after they've moved on with their lives, you know? Even if this was a non-romantic relationship, you can't let someone back in your life that discarded you or reverse discarded you. You don't deserve that, you know? Just because they realize now that they made a mistake, don't give them the opportunity to get back in. You must make sure of that. You must make sure of that. This narcissist involved in your life is suffering. Narcissist involved in your life is haunted by your absence. And the narcissist in your life that was in your life realizes they downgraded. They've realized they downgraded. They've realized they've made a bad move. But there's nothing they can possibly do about that now. The only thing they can do is watch you from a distance. The only thing they can do is try and reach out with hoovers and temperament checkers. But a lot of the time, those hoovers are just to suss you out, to see if you're healed or not. And a lot of you have done a lot of tremendous work in your healing journey. So they kind of sense that you've elevated to a point that you won't even have someone like that in your life, right? And that's great. It's a great place to be. That's a real great place to be. That you've evolved and ascended to a point where you would never tolerate that kind of behavior in your life again. It's a wonderful place to be, and that's where you should all aim to be, right? You can all do a lot better than this narcissist that was involved in your life. You don't need to be concerned with who they're with, what they're doing, what their life consists of. You need to reach the point of indifference. And when you reach the point of indifference on the healing journey, that's a wonderful space to be in too, right? They don't get clarity. They don't get closure. As much as they denied you closure, they don't get closure either. That's just the way it goes, right? They deny you closure. They deny themselves closure. They've got so many soul ties, so much negative energy around them. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal, right? So leave them be. Focus on your healing. Focus on your own life. Focus on your family. Focus on what's important to you. and leave them as a thing of the past. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got a secondary channel, a spiritual channel. Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting ZionMembership.com. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.